Down $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. You coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See Club for details.
A membership with John Henry's will fast-track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating
and electrical.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
The time is now. Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon registration is now open, and prices are rising. The sooner you sign up, the less you pay. Set the goal, start training. Register now at lincolnmarathon.org. Race day is May 3rd.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in December, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep the clubs out year-round. Book your holiday parties at Double Eagle Golf and make plans to join them for a New Year's Eve party. Gift cards make a great stocking stuffer for Christmas, and don't forget to look ahead to 2026 as spring leagues begin in February. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket immediately after every Nebraska men's basketball game for 1 hour of post-game recap. The Nebraska Basketball Postgame Show is sponsored by Union Bank and Trust, John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical, and the Lincoln Airport on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. It's time to go one-on-one with DP. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation. Here is your host, Derek Pearson.
It is Monday. Oh, man, 11:01. Lincoln, Nebraska. Appreciate y'all hanging out with us. 44 degrees. It's a beautiful day. Downtown Lincoln. A high of 54 later on. Well done. Should be a decent week until Friday. You get a little weather on Friday. But we'll deal with that. Greatly appreciate y'all hanging out with us here on 93.7 The Ticket during one-on-one. Greatly appreciate it. We'll start with a couple of things in play. 402-464-5685 is the Starter Haven text line. You want to appreciate. You want to reach out. You want to be a part of the show. You want to add to, please do. Download the Ticket app. It's good for you. Good for your soul. Take us with you. But you can follow on all the live video streams, Facebook, YouTube, X. Please make sure you hit the follow on all of those areas so that you help us and we can help you and get you detailed and connected. Also in the space, I'm going to start a project next week for nonprofits, just to be able to get shout. We'll have a daily nonprofit shout out. Won't cost you a thing. We just want to talk about the good folks who are doing good things in Lincoln, Nebraska. So you guys can just email me at Derek at the Ticket. If you don't know how to spell my name, get to Googling. The E, 2 R's, ICK, like Henry. Derek at the ticketfm.com, right? So you can, because they'll misspell it. They'll misspell it. I'll get Dirk. I'll get Derek with the E, 1 R. I get the whole range. I'll get Daryl. So all of that, but over the course of a month, that would give me 20 nonprofits a month that I can shout out over the course of a month, and I want to just celebrate and highlight good folks doing good things in Lincoln. So, if you'll do that, kind sir, before I have you pay the bills, Bach, how the heck are you?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well. Pretty good weekend, I think. Obviously, with Nebraska basketball moving their way into the top 10 today. We'll see when the polls come out, but it's all but official here, so we're kind of waiting for it. It's a good day to be alive.
Are we going to be grimy and then not be satisfied at where in the top 10 they're ranked? Like, well, how quickly do we become those basketball fans?
Oh yeah, I mean, I think they should be number one. I don't know, they're undefeated. There's only so many undefeated teams. They should be at least number 5, right?
How many undefeated teams are there?
I think there are 5. Let me double check here.
Yeah, check the numbers to see what that is. And I would be fully intrigued by that, to know what's in play and who we're comparing ourselves to. You know, our ball bounces higher and our red shines brighter. So we have to make sure that we say those things. Bach, if you would, while you're doing that, kind sir, I need to have you multitask. I need for you, sir, to pay the bills. Pay the bills.
Yeah, so it looks like, by the way, 6 teams: Arizona, Iowa State, Nebraska, Michigan, Vanderbilt, and Miami of Ohio.
Only 2 of them should be ahead of the Huskers. Only 2.
For now. Just for
only
now.
2. Only 2.
This show today is sponsored by Hamilton Telecommunications, bringing you the latest quality technology and communication services since 1901. Whether it's residential or business, Hamilton has the answers. Visit hamiltontel.com for more info today.
Thank you, kind sir. Yeah, I'm gonna say it out loud because I really want to ride the ship. Like, I really want to enjoy this. So if I said to you, Bach gets to set his own top 10. Let's start with the top 5, right? And you're a member of the club that if you're undefeated, right? Undefeated. So as of last week, Michigan was undefeated. They were number 1. Arizona, Iowa State, and then Vanderbilt, and then Nebraska. So that's our top 5. We're riding with that. And if we're outside the top 5, we light brooms and we march.
This is the UConn, Dukes, Purdue's,
Gonzagas. No, they already lost.
One loss. Everybody's got one loss.
Listen, we're Nebraska fans. If your team's lost a game, we can't relate. We can't relate. We need to get. Listen, we need to be as obnoxious for as long as possible. Right? Because how many times, Bach, could you say that you were 14-0 sitting in the top 5?
Never.
Right. So listen, this is the run, man. This is it. This is it. This is the moment you have, as Buffer says, this is the moment you have all been waiting for. You are undefeated, and yes, put us at 5. Put us at 5, or I will fight you. I will. I mean, think about. Listen, sorry, Duke, you lost the game. That's not our fault. Purdue, listen, we already know we beat you when we weren't undefeated in top 5. So we're not really afraid of you. Michigan State, sorry. BYU, We saw you already this year. We paddled your
They
behind
should
and
be
sent
ahead
you
of that,
on.
yeah.
So what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Put it at number 5. Book it. Text line, let me know if I'm wrong. I'm not wrong.
Well, look, the only thing I would say is like a team like Duke, Nebraska's obviously 2-0 against their top 25 teams. Duke's 4-1. Now that one is important, right? But still, I mean, that still might hold Nebraska back for those that wonder in some of these polls. Some of these, the major powers in college basketball. It's one of my favorite things. They all play each other at the beginning of the year. And it sometimes goes unnoticed because you're still paying attention to football or whatever.
Well, but they didn't invite Nebraska.
Yeah, Nebraska didn't.
It's not our fault. You didn't invite us to the party. Like this is the thing. We could have told you how cute we were this year. You just didn't invite us. You didn't see us. Nebraska's the hot girl in the movie that wears glasses.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Fred Hoiberg's walking around like Clark Kent with his glasses on. And then one day he just walks in front of Tom Izzo and he takes his glasses off. And Tom Izzo's like, man, that Fred Hoiberg's hot. He's hot right now. Enjoy the ride, enjoy the run for as long as it goes, because it is a temporary thing, but it is a beautiful thing while it exists. So there's my buddy, there's my neighbor Wayne, the unofficial mayor of Lincoln, Nebraska. I think in fairness that to enjoy the space. And quite frankly, Bach, if I asked you what the top story of on a Monday morning in Lincoln, Nebraska, what say you? What is the top story when it comes to sports here in Lincoln, Nebraska?
I think Nebraska basketball has got a game tonight. They're getting into the top 10, so or very close to it. We'll see. So that's got to be it. Now there is some news. You got a new quarterback on the football team.
There's all sorts of. But hey, in this business, you start with the headline. You start. I don't open Husker basketball postgame shows telling you how much player number 9 had off the bench, because rarely is it the story. It's not the story. Don't bury the lead. Husker basketball is undefeated and will be in the top 10 shortly. Everything else falls in line, and there's plenty of news. You're in the transfer portal. We know that things are going to happen. Bach, I asked you this question off air. I will ask it to you and the text line. And I mean this in full. Right? But I have to set the boundary first. The transfer portal is a nightclub. Right? It's a dating app. I think it's more of a nightclub, quite frankly. And everybody has a need. Everybody who walks into the bar knows what they need. They have in their head what that perfect partner looks like. But Bach, the part that always gets forgotten is not everybody's going to match up. Not every player in the transfer portal is going to swipe on Nebraska. Not everybody's going to do that. We spent all last week, and they threw out the quarterback Levin. Levin would be a great addition, and Sorsby would be. Hey man, Cameron Diaz is single. You're not Brad Pitt.
Doesn't mean you're in the race. Huh?
Right? You're currently Nebraska football is not Brad Pitt. Currently, it's more of a Kevin James. Quite frankly, to
be fair, Sam Levitt's flirting with the Kevin James of the world, I suppose.
Right, but I mean,
pie's bitter.
Leah Remini finds Kevin James very attractive. She chose him and made a full long career of it. But I don't. Bach, everybody doesn't want to play quarterback at Nebraska. Everybody doesn't want to do it. So it's wonderful to say, here's who we want, right? Mm-hmm. Here's what we want. Then you have to say, would they want us? And then can we make the numbers work, right? Because we collectively, Bach, any of us, don't know how much money Nebraska has or has set aside for each position for the transfer portal. We don't know what their magic. So I would imagine that down at football headquarters, there's there's several whiteboards of what an ideal Nebraska roster looks like now and forward. So the players on one panel, there's the wall of commitments. The people who are freshmen and who have committed to it. Then another wall with all the returning players who have signed their agreements for next year. Then there are the question marks because you have players that may not have made their decision. And you have in the back of your mind whether you want those players to return or not. For whether it be for talent, for contract agreements, do you re-up? Do you want to re-sign them? Whatever the case may be. And then you have your project board, the people that in an ideal perfect world are Huskers next year at whatever number it takes. But we don't know. What are they spending? $18 million? $15 million? Do we know?
We don't know.
Right? So if you're going to do that, then you have to determine for the 105 players, how many of those 105 players go into revenue share versus NIL. Right? Because the two aren't the same. They're not the same. We don't know how much Nebraska has. We can speculate on the revenue share. We don't know when it comes to NIL. We don't know what the number is. At least I don't know. If the text line knows what number they're spending, cool. But I haven't heard it from Nebraska. So, quite frankly, we don't know. The range is phenomenal. In the revenue share, it could be anywhere from 15 million to 30 million. We don't know. And in the NIL, we don't know how much money is set aside and how that money is going to be distributed. The general manager will say, okay, Bach, I've got $10 million to spend in NIL next year, aside from revenue share, right? So you set your balance from the revenue share, because that's a set number that they will determine. And again, for the sake of conversation, we could say it's 15 million. It could be 10, right? But 15 million. But 10 makes it easier to do math and to figure
Right.
to figure shares. So 10 million, right? Are you going to evenly share all $10 million with all 105 players? Are you giving equal shares to your long snapper, punter, kickers as you do your quarterback? Probably not.
Highly doubt it, yeah.
Probably not. Are you going to pay your first team quarterback the same amount that you pay your second team quarterback?
Not likely.
Not likely. Are you going to pay? What are your positions of priority financially? Left tackle, pretty important. Pretty important, right? Now, do you have somebody that fits that financial structure for those two tackle positions for the amount of depth that you want? How many tackles do you want on your roster next year? On your active roster, right? And remember, you have the 105, but then you have the 60 or 70 that you travel with. Now, wow. If you're the GM, are you paying the travel players but not the players who don't make the travel list? Are you paying the scout team? Or is that just scholarship money?
Yeah, I mean, it depends, again, with how much money I've got to work
Right,
with.
so
But with the $10 million in the rev share.
Let's say, even if you said 20 million, okay?
Mhm.
Then you're breaking down the shares. And I would imagine that kickers and specialists don't necessarily get the share amount they could get a share, right?
Mm-hmm.
But
Especially good ones. Yeah.
NIL covers some other space, right? Because that's different that's buffer money. But the 105, if I said there's 100 players, that means that I have 5 different tiers of 20 players. First team offense, first team defense. Right? 10 and 10. We're just going to go with that. We could say 11 simply, but let's work with 10 and 10. Right? If we have $20 million to play with, are you spending $10 million on offense and $10 million on defense, Bach? No, but
I
this
think
is
you-
all.
yeah,
of it. This is
depends.
how really deep it runs.
I wouldn't do necessarily a set number because you're also working with returning and expectations from guys. You'd want it to be close though, right? I mean, you would expect for at least to be close unless you lean heavily on one side of the ball.
Need matters.
Mhm.
Need matters. Priority, because depending on the system that you're running, different players have different levels of responsibility. Some would say the defense is linebacker based, right? Right. So you need a bunch of line. What positions do you carry the most of in your roster of 70 and 105? What positions? Defensive backs and receivers,
Yeah.
right? The most,
Lineman, yeah.
right?
Up there. Yeah.
Right. How many linemen do you want on your roster? How many linemen, offensive linemen do you take when you travel on the road in the Big Ten? So you take 70 players, right? So you have to know what those numbers are.
Yeah.
And if you want to be really specific, you get into depth, right? That, quite frankly, we go through 7 receivers in a game, including special teams, right? We go through 9 defensive backs, right? Because they play the special teams. Those are the cover guys. Those are the sprint guys, right? All that in play. And then how do you inspire? Because this is the one time in negotiating the contracts that you have to set motivation and ambition for your players. So do you pay your 5th group of 20 at all? Or are those your scout players? Because the bottom 20 players, that's your scout team. Matter of fact, it's the bottom 40 players. But hey, we're for the sake of this conversation, right? The bottom 20 players, scout team, how much of your revenue share do they get? Do they get a full share? Or do they get the scholarship and all the perks and benefits, and then they can play their way up to the next level?
Yeah, I think that's generally how you do it, though. I do think you'd probably stick them a base, something.
Right? Something, right?
Yeah.
Right? So you could say we're going to take a share and split it amongst that bottom tier. Again, you're motivated. You don't like being on the scout team, play your way off of it and play yourself into some money. Right? Play yourself into money. So you got to beat out the guy in front of you. All right, 14 guys. Right? We're now at 80 players. Half of this group of 20 is not going to make the travel route roster. Right. You got it. It's crabs in a barrel. You could pay them the same amount of money, or you can say, if you make the travel roster, this is what you can make. This is how much this is what the share value is for that. Now, you could say, we're going to split this 20 million into shares of 25 or 50 or $100,000. Depends on you, right? In truth, if you're spending $20 million out of the revenue share and you have 100 players, that's $200,000 a player, right? Quick math. But we also just said we're not going to pay the 5th team, the scout team, the same as we do the starters. So, hey, man, a large portion of that money is going to go back to the top tier, right? We're going to water down effect. Cool. Now, starters currently sitting at $400,000 each, right? Practice players have to play their way up. Now, I need more money for my top end. So it comes from the 4th team guys who could be freshmen, right? Incoming freshmen, redshirt freshmen, and players who are playing on the practice squad but have an opportunity to play up, right? If you make the practice squad, you get another tier. If you stay on the practice squad, you stay at the lower level, right? That takes us to the top 60. So 1st team, 2nd team, 3rd team, offense and defense. Now, top tier, that's $400,000. Can you get a top tier quarterback for the Big Ten for $400,000? No, you cannot. No, you cannot. We ended up with one because TJ Lateef ended up in the space. But that tells me that's a 2nd and 3rd team quarterback, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your 3rd team quarterback. Who was Nebraska's 3rd team quarterback this year?
Now I'm blanking on
Young
his
man.
name.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Young man, dual option guy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is he worth $400,000?
Probably not.
$200,000.
Probably not.
$100,000.
If you need him in the game,
Right,
really.
right.
Yeah.
But this is, understand, your scout team quarterback is valuable, but let's say he's worth $50,000 to come and give the best look. 14 quarterback, sometimes in scout situation, injury, other, sickness, illness, whatever it is. But the 14 quarterback is a project. He's not going to he may not or may not make the travel squad. 13 quarterback's probably going to make the travel squad. So he's in the top 60. Second team quarterback. What's your second team quarterback worth? How much would you have had to set aside for TJ Lateef as the second team quarterback 1 year ago?
Well, it's just again, it depends on the situation. Dylan and TJ is a different representation or a different money share than Minchie and TJ, right? Because who's first team? They're battling it out.
We don't know.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, whatever you offer. Now, if you tell me that you just set aside a budget for $500,000 for your new quarterback, because we don't know who's starting. So I tell you what, we're gonna set a number as the baseline for quarterback play. Is that 250,000? Is that 500,000? What is it? Don't know. We don't know. Running back position. Now, how much would you have given Emmett a year ago?
Quite a bit.
Before he became Emmett.
Yeah.
What would you have given him after the bowl game last year?
Again, it's tough to tell because I don't know what the range is necessarily.
When people scream from the rafters that this is who we want and this is who I'd like and all those things, there is a whole matrix of numbers that Neo has to slow down and pick out and say, this is what we're going to pay. Now, Bach, what number is appropriate for offensive linemen in the Big Ten as your start to compete with Indiana, Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oregon? What do you think the 5 starting offensive linemen's worth is in Big Ten football?
I mean, for tackles, I think you're up there in $1 million. Interior offensive linemen, maybe the high end ones could be in there as well.
Right. That there's a number.
Yeah.
Remember, you have $10 million to field every offensive player. $10 billion on defense. Now, it may actually be less than that. But you have to share out what each position is worth and then set aside that. You allow players to what they sign as a baseline, right? Here's what you're guaranteed. You can play your way up from third team to first team. There's more money if you're the starter. If you beat out the 2 guys ahead of you, you deserve their money. But that's where NIL comes in. Because that's your value to the team and the community. And you have more value as a starter than you do as a guy whose name isn't said on Saturday on national TV. So we can sit through and go through all of the numbers. But the reality is this. Nebraska has to determine what each of these things are worth to them. And then they have to find out from the players who are available what they think their number is. And then you have to negotiate. And then you have to come to agreement. It's not that easy. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. It's not that simple. Just going to say it. There are some news. Bach, just some of the names of players who have committed to Nebraska in the past 72 hours.
Yeah, so they've got two on the board now. One was today, this morning. Many people probably saw over the weekend. Quarterback Kenny Minchie from Notre Dame did commit to Nebraska. Not a whole lot of experience there as a backup at Notre Dame, but as mobile, big arm, athletic. So that's the expectation there in my mind, is at least to come in and compete with TJ Lateef. They also landed today, this morning, Brennan Black, the Iowa State interior offensive lineman. That looks to be a plug and play type of deal here for Nebraska. They've got some outgoing players. Of course, that was part of the news too. Keona Davis, kind of the biggest one of the weekend. But yeah, as of now, they've got 2 in their transfer portal class in Minchie and Brennan Black.
I'm just letting y'all know. You sit back and go, hey, this is a good fit. Really? If you have $10 million for offense, for all 50 offensive players or all 35 offensive players that you're going to travel with? 35 offensive players, Bach.
Well, it can be hard, but I'll also say this. Do you think Nebraska spent more or less than Illinois and Iowa? There seems to be teams that are doing it. Maybe they are spending more. We don't know.
Hey, Bob.
But I don't know.
That part, we don't know. And the likelihood. I mean, Cincinnati said in his when he was being interviewed, look, if you just give me average money, I'm going to win in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
That's the sauce I want.
Yeah.
I'll win with whatever you give me. Just get me close, and I'll get you over the hump.
Fred Hoiberg, I don't think he's got probably the top dollars.
Say that.
In Big Ten basketball.
Say that. Compared to what Purdue and Michigan State are spending on basketball, Fred Hoiberg in Nebraska is not spending half of that money, I guarantee you. And, hey, they should be top 5. I said it. More one-on-one with Bach and DP when we come back.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait. Apply now.
A membership with John Henry's will fast track you to front-of-the-line service, seasonal tune-ups, and far fewer unexpected moments. That means no breakdowns, no waiting on a call, and no nonsense. It's consistent care that prevents small issues from turning into big bills. Join the Comfort Club and get VIP treatment 365 days a year with 24-hour priority response, member-only discounts, and peace of mind on your home's most expensive systems. Call
John Henry's.
John Henry's Plumbing. Heating and air.
and electrical.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at CoppellCars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hey, Lincoln and the surrounding area. Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts is now open at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G and ready to help you improve your general health. If you're experiencing pain, headaches, or any other issues, give Yin and Yang Acupuncture a call today at 402-480-1014 to schedule your appointment. For those struggling with deep tissue pain or just need an experienced massage therapist to melt the stress away, call Rune Wind Healing Arts at 402-601-9721 and schedule your appointment now. Visit Yin and Yang Acupuncture and Rune Wind Healing Arts today in Lincoln at 1701 South 17th Street in Suite 3G.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Verne as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket and top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Husker Nation, conference play is here for Husker Women's Hoops, and we need your help. The Huskers had one of their best starts ever, completing non-conference play with a perfect 12-0 record. But Big Ten play will be a challenge, and they need to hear Husker Nation in the stands for every basket, steal, and each and every win. The road to March starts now, so don't wait. Head to huskers.com/tickets and secure your seat for some unforgettable matchups in PBA. Go Big Red.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza. The big one. All the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back. Rock DP on a Monday. If you're craving something warm, sweet, and unforgettable, Insomnia Cookies has you covered. Whether you're hosting a party, planning an event, or getting ready for the holidays, Insomnia Cookies delivers fresh baked goodness right when you need it. Treat your guests to warm, melty classics. It's a big football playoff weekend. You might need them. Deluxe cookies and even ice cream cookie sandwiches. Sign me up. Perfect for office parties, celebrations, birthday surprises, you name it. Order ahead and get it delivered straight to your door. Insomnia Cookies. Make your next event a little sweeter, a little warmer with Insomnia Cookies, located downtown 16th and Q Street. Bach, we have a box. Let the folks know. Just the aroma from it is a win.
So yeah, that's the start, which is great. It gets me definitely wanting to eat all of these cookies. But you can see even in here, and I don't know, well, you can see it on the screen, but the cookies as I'm opening up, wonderful little box. They've got gluten-free options, vegan cookies. You've got like a brookie in here toward the back, and some chocolate chip cookies. The chocolate is still looks like it's drying or whatever. It's still ready to eat. So if you like kind of that, and I'm a gooey cookie type of guy. That looks pretty good to me. So man, and you're right. The biggest thing is you just open it up and it smells like grandma's kitchen or something.
Doesn't it though? I mean, that's just the aroma of it.
Yeah,
is beautiful. It is beautiful. From the text, I'm going to read these and then I'll get back into some of the details of it. Bone 67, how much is a 3-year backup quarterback worth in NIL money? We'll talk about that. And remember to separate the NIL money versus the revenue share. NIL money only applies to players of note. It is named, but of note. Think of them as, you know what? Would you know this person walking down the street? Are you buying tickets to see this player play? That's because if that's not the case, then they're not in the NIL business. They're in the revenue share business, right? Because they are entitled to their share or whatever the team determines is their share of whatever amount of money from the revenue share, whether it be 15 million, as Ohio State and Michigan say, we're more likely 30, 35 million rather than what everybody else is spending, because that's how we want to distribute our money. Nebraska has a unique situation. Now, again, understanding that the athletic departments are nonprofits and that Nebraska football runs at a greater surplus than most programs, almost all programs in the country. Now, but it is also the facilitator and the bill payer for 19 other programs. So relative to that, how much of the revenue of the profit for Nebraska athletics or Nebraska football, with 40 million being set aside specifically for football, how much money is set into the program? So the revenue share versus the NIL. NIL are the businesses and check writers and boosters of Nebraska football who want additional funds provided directly to a specific student athlete. So you would imagine that Bach, quarterback, that's an NIL position. Running back, number 1, NIL position. Wide receiver 1, Bach.
Yeah, definitely.
Left tackle.
Yeah. I mean, again, that gets you bringing, like, the only thing that I would say there is you somewhat have to protect yourself, because, like, a guy like Brendan Black, you know, a guard might not be the reason you buy tickets, but he also might be the reason you win games. So,
well, but the value system as the starting offensive line, you can set numbers, and we'll get into the numbers at the top of the hour, right? But I want to set the table that in the consideration that if you have a tackles for loss linebacker, a defensive lineman or an edge that gets sacks and creates turnovers, do you have a shutdown corner, or at least the idea of a shutdown corner? Do you have a dominant field general safety in the middle of it who knocks people's helmets around? Is there a middle linebacker or an inside linebacker that is the heart and soul of the defense? Because if it's not, then you're a starter and you're entitled to top share, whatever the top share for a starter is. But are you really in the NIL pool? And I would imagine that there were a ton of linebackers who would be in the revenue share who would not be somebody that a business, a local business, would write a check for at their position. Now, giving away free business here. If I'm Nebraska and if I find each group with their own benefactor, right, that there's one business that's tied to my best defensive line. There's one business tied to my best offensive line. There's one business that's tied to my running back, to my quarterback, to my wide receiver. Bach, free money. I'm going to line that up for you.
Well, that's what Kenny Dillingham was talking about, too, is getting the business around Phoenix to do it. The one thing, though, you would wonder is, are you getting your ROI on that? Like Amigos, Jeff Sims type of discussion.
Well, but here's the thing. Bad decision makers are going to screw this up anyway. But if you don't have a plan for it, you're going to fail. Having a plan for it at least gives you some boundaries for how this works. And I'm basing this off conversations with prominent NIL people across the country and athletic departments, 2 of them within the Big Ten. Right?
Mm-hmm.
In the deal. Culligan J, text me at 1:30. No, you can't text me today. Yes, you can. 1:30. Text me today. We'll talk about your text because I do want to get back to that. Texter says this: spend 70% on the lines on each side of the ball. So if there's a defensive share of revenue sharing, whatever the number is that you have available, do you allot for what percentage do you allow for each side of the ball and then each position on that side of the ball? This texter says 70%. Because if you tell me that a team's success is 70% reliant upon the play of their offensive and defensive line, I would almost say that number's probably 40%. Bah? What percent of success? If you go back into Nebraska's heyday, what percentage of their success was based on the pipeline and the defensive line?
Oh boy.
Remember, you had Heisman Trophy winners all over the place.
It's tough because you kind of get into Nebraska was such a high end. Like, that's what you kind of think of, like Iowa. I was driven through the offensive line. So I would think it would be higher maybe in a place like that where they don't seem to land the big quarterback or get the big wide receivers on campus. But Nebraska back in the day, like you said, had Heisman Trophy winners running quarterback, running back. So that's a tough percentage.
And here's another added factor to it. I'm just painting the picture at how not simple this is. That if you're Nebraska and your brand, your entire defensive brand is the black shirt. Who sponsors the black shirts, Bob? Whoops.
Ideas?
Whoops. To tell me that there's not some booster that wants posters and player cards for all the black shirts for next year. Imagine a dinner when you announce the black shirts. Imagine that sponsor being able to help announce it. Black shirts. Why would you not do that? Doesn't that help cover some of the NIL business?
Yeah.
If you tell me the importance of the brand, we're talking about name, image, and likeness. The identity of Nebraska football has been and is the black shirt. And it was until Dylan Raiola came along. But Dylan's gone now. What is the brand what is the one identifying brand for Nebraska football? Black shirt. It's not pipeline anymore. Now, somebody could come along and say, hey, we're going to make pipeline great again. Right? We want the black shirts great again, but we also, okay. So there's some local business person with $3 million in tow that will sponsor and make sure that from the NIL side of things, the pipeline is covered. Go and get your big boys. Somebody will sponsor the quarterbacks because those are the poster boys. Somebody will sponsor the running backs. It's the running game. Delivery service. Some moving company, pipeline moving company, some breakfast house, Pancakes R Us, but that's how it works. The revenue share is the share of for whatever amount you set. And again, just for grins and giggles, we're going to set it at 20 for our discussion at 12 o'clock. We'll set it at 20 and then say how we're going to split it, right? Offense, defense, and oh, by the way, special teams, right? Because we lived in a time where Nebraska special teams hurt the greater project, right? We knew, oh, good heavens, we could have won another couple of ball games each year if the special teams didn't suck, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you got to give you got to give Eckler some cash to go get some dudes. And quite frankly, we know that some of those dudes are going to come from that second and third level of players. That second and third 20, those are special teams guys. Those are the Derek Branches of the team captain. So there is some value in it. So we'll go through. We will read more of the text, and then at 12 o'clock, Bach, we're gonna get into it, man. The numbers. I'm a really good note taker. And when you talk to the bigwigs around the Big Ten and the ACC, they give you some quality information, and it just helps. So I will share some of that at 12 o'clock, but I'll get to your text here when we come back to one-on-one.
Watch live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
An emergency can happen any moment. Here's a few seconds to think about where you'd go. At CHI Health, we stand ready to care for any emergency. Our specialists provide expert care when you need it most and believe healing is more powerful when delivered with human kindness. When seconds matter, Know CHI Health St. Elizabeth is accredited in stroke care and offers the region's only ER just for kids. Learn more at chihealth.com/St. Elizabeth Emergency.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Planet Fitness has everything you need to start strong, so you can give everything you've got. From plate-loaded strength equipment and functional training areas to treadmills, stair climbers, and free weights. Our equipment is best in class, and our clubs are right around the corner, so you can make this your strongest year yet. Join the club today and save $28 or more when you join for $1 down, $15 a month. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Friday, January 9th. You coming? Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet. See club for details.
Tune in to Outside the Box from 4 to 5 p.m. for everything you need to know about the Lincoln Stars. Join head coach Rocky Russo and play-by-play voice Alex Fern as they sit down with special player guests to tell the story of the Lincoln Stars and give you all the news and notes you need from around the USHL. That's Outside the Box with the Lincoln Stars on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see increasing clouds throughout the day and light winds. An afternoon high near 56. Tonight, mainly clear skies and light winds, the low around 34. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies with a light breeze and an afternoon high returning to 56. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
If you're tired of the dieting circuit paradox but still want to look, feel, and perform better, you need to get to Nutrition Authority and ask about our nutrition coaching featuring LifeBase. LifeBase takes a complex world of nutrition and makes it simple with real results that last. Stop in to learn more or check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing. And we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
Concrete Industries has immediate job openings for precast production laborers and maintenance technicians. Concrete Industries offers great pay, health benefits, 401k, a wellness program, holidays, and paid time off. Apply today to earn a starting pay of $21.50 per hour plus a $1,500 hiring bonus. Concrete Industries is hiring all experience levels and offers on-the-job training. Start your career today as a precast production laborer or maintenance technician. Visit concreteindustries.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln area. We are going to keep this train rolling in a big way with new half-ton and 4x4 pickup trucks starting at $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You heard that right, $12,500 off list price or 0% financing. You pick which one works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team or check us out at coppellcars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
The time is now. Lincoln Marathon and Half Marathon registration is now open, and prices are rising. The sooner you sign up, the less you pay. Set the goal, start training. Register now at lincolnmarathon.org. Race day is May 3rd.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
Back to One-on-One with DP. Sponsored by the Downtown Lincoln Foundation on 93.7 The Ticket.
Welcome back. Text line. We'll get to them. I'm going to rapid fire through these. Texture 0628 says, with a great line like Pipeline, we would toss the sweep on 3rd and 12 and get 15. We need a good old line. Yeah, we had great backs, but put them behind lines they're going to be average. In some of those cases, you're talking about there's a difference between the road graders, the grinders, and the playmakers. Most people would say Barry Sanders is one of the 5 best running backs ever. He never played in front of a line that was as good as he was. Jim Brown always was better than the lines he played behind. O.J. Simpson had 2 Hall of Fame offensive linemen. John Riggins there was 1 Hall of Famer in the Hogs. One. Russ Grimm's the only Hall of Famer out of the best offensive line in history. Best offensive lineman that ever existed is Anthony Munoz. And you can't name, you gotta dig deep. So value versus shareable wage is a different deal. I'm a line first guy. And if they decide to, whatever the numbers they decide to put behind the lineman, cool, go for it. But to tell me that Mike Rozier wouldn't have been great, no. I'm on Greenwood. No, I ain't going there. I'm not buying that. Murph says this. Let's get through. Murph says, under the ideas DP lays out, the rev share adjustable throughout the season. Yes. It's part of the agreement, part of the contract. And we'll get into it in the next bit. And I was sharing a little of the preview with Bach that there are ways to do that. Is the rev share adjustable based on injury or just plain beat out? Yes. All of those things are pliable in the situation because they exist in the pro model. They already exist in the pro model. So the teams that are ahead in the Big Ten have accepted that some of the best tactics and asset acquiring, they've put that into their college programs, and that's where there's advantage. Rev share being equal for the 105 and NIL paying the difference to pay the additional money the players targeted makes more sense, which is what we were saying, that you have to remember, revenue share is the guaranteed money that the university has set aside. NIL is value-based incentive. It's value-based, and you can change your value system. You can change your level and location. You can do that through work. That's where depth and competition comes in play. Big Hoss is on the text line. Good morning, guys. In my opinion, Nebraska needs 1 or 2 more quarterbacks from the portal, 5 or 6 offensive linemen, 3 or 4 defensive linemen, a couple of linebackers. We'll go through the numbers because, again, most colleges and each coach on the collegiate level, specifically on the Power 4 level, have their own idea of what those numbers look like per player group. And when we say the 105 and that 5 are, special team specialists, that's a real thing. That's a real thing. And you can say, I need 2 long snappers. If I can combine them into a player that's also, in my top three squads on their side of the ball, that's additional money I can set aside for those players. What you're telling high school players is if I'm a center and I can long snap for punts and field goals, there's ways for me to, I have additional value to the team. So there's additional share money for me within the shared revenue. It's simple. The Texas says this. I made the dating site reference. So a friend once told me the dating sites are humbling. If you are a 7, you won't get a 10. If you only get a 7 or less, that's Nebraska football in a nutshell. Transfer portal is, it is if you as the listener became single, if you're not single already, who you think you can date and who you should date are two entirely different questions. And then add to that you then have to consider whether they want to date you. Who you want to date and who wants to date you don't often meet on the bridge. The best situations is when you find somebody, you go, yeah, I would date them. And they go, yeah, I would date you. And you go, wow, that worked out. And then they find out, okay, how much money you have? Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. Y'all, are we eating steak or are we eating McDonald's every night? What are we doing? And they got to know. That's the transfer portal. That's the transfer portal. So we're going to take a break when we come back in hour number 2. I spent some time last week talking to execs and coaches and athletic directors around the country because I wanted some insight to how these programs, how these things are being handled and what the situation was. And again, I can't speak for Nebraska. There's information that I get, and there are people who will give me that information freely. I will share with you some of that information along the way. And what we were trying to figure out was how they were planning their 2026 revenue share and NIL. I will share some of that with you when we come back to One-on-One.
Download our app by searching 93.7 The Ticket in your app store. You're listening to One-on-One with DP on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
Hog Wild has a delicious way for you to enjoy beef brisket. It's our open-faced hot beef sandwich. We start with our grilled Texas toast. Add a scoop of creamy mashed potatoes. Load them up with some tender Hog Wild beef brisket. And top it off with our tasty brown gravy. It's absolutely delicious. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
In a world where Wi-Fi battles rage and bandwidth is never enough, one family dares to connect it all. Work from home, influence all day, stream all night, and game to win. Deadlines, downloads, and dance-offs, all happening under one roof, flawlessly. Can your internet provider do that? Fiber fuel your household at allofiber.com/all-in.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug,